What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with All on Black here. Day number 59. We ended up at a bankroll of $939 and change. Today's nice to have, just kind of our target, $47 roughly. Remember, that's more of a checkpoint. It's sort of a way for you to kind of keep track how you're doing. If you find that you're way below that 5%, you got two choices. One, readjust your expectations, lower that number so it's not a 5% goal, make it a 1, 2, or 3% goal, something that you are actually achieving on a daily basis if you're okay with where you're at. There's no sense every day reminding yourself that you're not meeting this target. Who cares about that target? You set that target. Or the second thing is adjust your play. Maybe you're being really, really, really conservative and you find you can open it up a little bit, but that's up to you. Play within your comfort zone. Okay, let's get this out of here. And 9 was the last number. So we're going to resume with 5 double street deja vu. So as like last time, we're basically covering the last paired double street that just hit, leaving the double street that's in that same dozen open, covering everything else. Okay, so we're leaving one double street open, same as 5 double streets. We got 3 units on high here. So if it hits a 0, we are protected. All right, here we go. 3 units down here, and I'll get the graph up. I just realized. Okay, here we go. There it is for you. Sorry. So I was going through the comments. I'm all caught up pretty much, guys. As far as the new comments, I'm starting from yesterday's video down about 6 or 7 videos. I have responded to all the comments that were there at that point. Maybe there's some new ones and I'll keep going through and checking, but I went through there. I did it. I said I was going to do it. I'm doing it. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to leave comments. The supportive ones are amazing. You have no idea. When, you have, just supportive or positive comments to say, not necessarily about me, but about your challenge or what you're doing, anything positive. It really goes a long ways because this can kind of wear you down a little bit, especially when people come in. There was one person that commented yesterday, said something like, not happening. We're not going to reach our goal. Okay. All right, bud. Anyway, so I got some of those comments. I'll pull them up here as soon as this spin's done and we'll walk through them. Some of them are great because they are repeats. And when I say repeats, meaning that's a comment that I often hear, that a lot of people have the same thing. So let's go look at it first. And here's the first one. Kamala's Crusty Sheets, long time member pretty much since day one, maybe day one. So been around. Thank you very much. He's saying 11 minutes into that video, yesterday's video, it went 24, 24, 15. Sorry to reiterate. And what he means by that, let me give you guys some context around that. 24, 24 followed by a 15. He was telling me in a couple of videos back, he posted, and I'm trying to remember if you are watching there's a content creator who believes in that kind of stuff, that when certain numbers hit twice in a row, this number is always going to follow. And you gave me a couple examples. I don't remember the other one. So that's what he's saying. He's saying, hey, Brent, remember I told you 24, 24 is always followed by 15. And in your video today at the 11-minute mark, it went 24, 24 followed by 15. Okay, fair enough. However, I'll bring this up in a second. However, I went to, I think it's roulettetracker.com. I think roulettetracker.com. And it has all the tables and they're currently updated. So I went to every single table, opened up the 500 history that it keeps and scrolled down through there looking for 24, 24 to repeat. Man alive, is it's hard. It's rare. Out of all the tables, I could only find 3 tables that had it. Okay. And this was the first one. And you can see it goes 24, 24, 28, 16, 16. So no 15 in sight there. Okay. No 15 in sight there. What did we just hit? 36. Of course you did. Wow. And we're going to, I'm going to double. I'm going to be a little bit risky here. We're going to double. So the second table, 24, 20, no 15 in sight whatsoever. And the third table that I could find it at out of all of them, 24, 24, 1, 1. So I'm sorry to reiterate, but I don't believe in that whatsoever. I don't believe in those kind of things. Like when these two numbers, okay, phew, we can go down to base. We can go down to base. We can go back down to base. Here we go. All right. Again, this is what I'm playing with is only 3 progressions. I do not recommend this unless you're very comfortable with losing that and that your bankroll, you look at what your remaining balance is and you feel very confident that you will have no problem recovering. Otherwise, and this is just how I play. This is just how I play. And I'll be slowing it down. So my goal for today is if I can get through a decent portion of this first session, I'll bring my bets down and I will just modulate. And that's what I'll do on session 2 and 3. We will just modulate our bets. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, there we go. So anyway, going back to the numbers, I don't believe in that. And I would be willing to bet if I were a betting man, which I'm not, that if we pulled up the last 10,000 spins of all these tables and every time it hit a 24, what number followed that? And I'd be willing to bet that 15 or any other number does not repeat more than any of the other numbers within the normal standard deviation of what would be considered normal deviation, right? The variance. So let's see, what are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, that was a 10. Yeah. That's just me. So, but if you like it, if you feel like 24, 24, hey, 15 is going to hit, go for it. It's just, I don't believe in that at all. Okay, let's go here to the next comment. Oh, there's another table, 24, 24, followed by 9, 13, 0, 8, 6, 36. No 15 to be seen. Which Euro roulette tables are we going to in Vegas? I love that question. Why? Because we're going to Vegas, Super Bowl weekend. I'll be there a couple days before and a couple days after. I'll be there a couple days before, a couple days after. But Super Bowl weekend is, Super Bowl is February 8th. So kind of that Friday through the 8th, 6th through the 8th. We got quite a few of us going down there. Would love to have you join us down there and do some play. To answer your question, I'll be playing at MGM Grand. They have a single zero non-VIP table. It's not in the VIP rooms. A lot of the VIP rooms have single zero, but their table mins are automatically set at 100. Okay, their table mins are automatically set at 100. So that would be prohibitive for a lot of people, right? But this one is out in the regular casino area. It's normally starts at a $15 min table bet. And then as people come to the table, especially if they put down a decent size of money, they'll jack it up. When Brad and I was there 3 times ago, maybe, I started playing there. And because I don't remember how much I put down, Brad, I don't know if it was 5 or 10K, but they jacked the min bet up to 200. Why do they do that? 2 reasons. One, if you really are a big fish that's just there to splurge and waste your money, they don't want people with smaller bets coming in and loading up the table and slowing things down and getting in your way and irritating the big fish, supposedly. To me, the real reason they do that is because if a bunch of people are at the table, it slows down the spins per minute, right? Because the dealer's got to do payouts, got to clear it, people got to put it. That means that big fish for the casino isn't betting as often, and they want that big fish to bet as often as possible. Anyway, so by keeping just the big fish there and raising the high table limit, that person is going to be betting every spin, which are a lot more per minute. All right, there we go. Hey, we're on to a good run here. I'm very tempted to bring this down. I'm very tempted to bring this down now. We're at $50 already. We're at 9 minutes. I'm just deciding. When I came in, my game plan was to go to about 12 minutes and then switch down to dollar units. But we're almost at 10, and I just feel like we've had a good kickstart. So if we're fortunate enough to win this one, I'll be going down to $1 units after this for the remainder. And then the next 2 sessions, I'll be doing mostly $1 units, and I'll be modulating. Of course you did. I swear. And I'm going to double. I'm going to double here. I'm going to live life in the fast lane here. So if I double this one, I can't even martingale one more time fully. I'll have $175, but I'm going to cross my fingers that we're going to be able to do this. So let's go. Let's get two hits and recover. I need one at this. This is a 4x, so I can bring my next bet down to 1x, just a base bet, and we will have recovered. Or I could go live on the large side and leave it at this much and see what happens, but I'm not going to. All right, here we go. We're back down to base bet. Phew. All right, there we go. There we go. We got our 7 through 12 and the 0 open. Anyway, so that's where we're going to go. MGM Grand to the out. It's in the normal floor there. It's by the Netflix restaurant. And not only is it single 0, it's Le Partage. It's French Le Partage. So they give you 50% back on all the outsides. Now you may be thinking, okay, but how big of a deal is it? Let me tell you a story. Are you kidding me? You freaking jerk. Man. I think we won't be returning to this table after break. I don't know why. Not in terms of personality wise, but and not because he just whacked me. I mean, we're 13-3, but there's just, I don't have a vibe with this dealer in terms that it's just something uncomfortable about it. So we'll see. Anyway, so when I go to Vegas, normally what I do is I take my bankroll, I split it in half. I put half in my safe on the very first day I get there, and I go down to the table and I'm all in on the first bet. Okay. Let me get this done. Okay. I'm going to leave it at 100. We're going to go life in the fast lane. So I go down because that's going to set the tone for my trip. So if I go down, if I lose it, okay, I still have half my bankroll and I have to make that work the rest of the trip. If I win, I put my entire starting bankroll in the safe. And now I try to play the rest of the trip on my profit there, playing on house money. So it's kind of cash and burn or twister, right? Twister is we start high, we do some big bets at the start, and then we bring it down. All right, we're at 12 minutes, 34 seconds, and we're definitely bringing our bets down to $1 units. Okay, now we can take a huge sigh of relief because we're down to a $5 bet from a $25 bet. We're up $60 at the 13-minute mark. We could have easily busted, very easily. That's why I say caution you. One reason I play this way, and I won't always be playing this way, after we do a couple, maybe a day or two of this, I'm kind of just enjoying myself. I'll be going back to the grind. Doing it, calculating our progressions. What do we need? What is a safer way to play? So I'm going to kind of modulate back and forth. So don't, if you're going to write in the comments, your bets are way too high. Yep, you are 100%. My bets are way too high. Anyway, back to the single 0. I get there the first day. I took 20K with me. I went down to the table. I put that all locked up, went down table, smacked $10,000 down. And I won. Perfect. So then I was living off that 2K and I did pretty well. Oh man, the view has changed. Okay. Was that a repeater? It was. And I don't want this view. I want this view. So, and it's only doing it on this stupid French Evo table. So the very last night I was there, because normally what I'll do is whether I win that or lose that, I'll bet fairly conservatively for all the way until maybe the last 2 days I'm there. I'd hate to bust out right at the beginning of my trip and have nothing to play with. That would suck. So I'm really pretty conservative other than that first bet. And the night before I leave the next morning, I go down the table, I throw $10,000 down. All right. I throw $10,000 down and let me get this down here first real quick. I throw 10K down. I've got 3 units on high. I got 2 units on the first dozen. 5 double streets, right? It's leaving the 13 through 18 open plus 0. Hits a 0. Now, I had 6,000 on high. Okay, so I got 3,000 back. I mean, that is significant. With that 3,000, I went balls deep. Every bet I started with a high or a low. I can't remember if it was high or low. I put the 3,000 on there, got 6,000. I took 6,000, split it into 2 dozens, and I got 9,000. And then that's a 30, it's a repeat. And then with that remaining 9,000, I honestly, I can't really remember. I think I switched to 5 double streets and I got back my $10,000. So this Le Partage can be huge. It can be huge. So play it whenever it makes sense and whenever you possibly can. All right, let's go to another comment here. So we'll be at the MGM Grand for big play. I live in Arizona. I can't find an online roulette casino betting site to play at. Can you recommend one, or is there one that you know of? Rockstar. So I'm actually chatting with Rockstar in Discord, helping him out. But I wanted you guys to see that because that's a super common question. The answer is, in the US, the states are starting to get more and more restrictive. So if you're playing on stake.us or whatever, you're not going to be able to play there. You're going to be forced to go play on FanDuel, DraftKings, stuff like that. They're not going to have nearly the options that you would have on a good casino. If you live in an area that you can't, you really only have 2 options. One is find any one of the casinos that are available. All right, we just got whacked. And let's see, that here. You know what? We are going to go to look to get it all back at once. The best thing I can tell you is get into our Discord, verify yourself so you can get into our channel and actually see all the channels. I have the link to our Discord below in description, and then go create a ticket. You'll see tickets and there will be a drop down ticket type. Just choose the one that says stake.com or whatever and fill it out. And we'll be more than happy to help you out and get you set up on any number of casinos and walk you through it. And if you need help with deposits and how to do crypto and stuff like that. So that's what I can tell you. The team has been amazing and patient with people. SoCal and Brad have been managing most of that, and they've been doing an amazing job. So get in there and do that way. Okay. So the other question, let's see here. Just wondering, because you're from USA, why don't you play in euros? Because you're technically making more as the value is higher. Okay, let's break that down for a second. I'm gonna kind of break that down. So let me get my bet set up here. So right now, as of right now, roughly 1 euro equals $1.17 in USD. So what he's saying is, hey, if you play in euro like right now, and this is in euro instead of USD, and you put 1 euro, everything, you're going to make 1 euro. But in USD, that's $1.17. So you're actually making 17 cents more. I see why you would think that, but the reality is, oh, come on, dude. Second time doing that to us there. All right. 5xing. We're not coming back to this table, by the way, after break. And once we recover here, we're done with this session. The thing about it is when you place a $1 bet and you make $1 and you convert it to USD and you go, oh, I have $1.17. Guess what? When you made that bet and you placed a $1 bet, you were actually placing a $1.17 bet. You weren't placing a $1 USD. You were placing $1 euro. All right, they're screwing with our thing again. OMG, are you kidding me? This dude. I told you, man, I got bad vibes on this dude. You know what? We're going in for $200 right here. So unless you want to get into Forex trading, which are the exchange rates, and you're hoping that you can play in euros or something and put your bankroll in euros, and I don't even think it's possible on this, but if you want to do it look at it that way, where you play $1 euros and you have your bank account, you go, oh, this is great. And now you convert it to USD and you got this nice little surprise that it's more than you were thinking, right? More than you were thinking. It's the same. If you bet $1 euro, you're betting $1.17 USD. If you lose 5 euros, you're losing more in USD. You win more. So it's exactly the same. So I hope that makes sense to you. There's no getting around that. There's no way to bet in a different currency and then change your currency. And because the values are different, you're making that much more. It's exactly the same, my friend. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and look at this. We're up $76. We're going to take a break and come back and see what we can do. All right, cheers. Okay, fools, let's get going again. Get that timer started. We ended up at $76. Again, the way I'm playing in that very first session was very, very risky. Let's get our scene done there. Okay, we're going to go down to dollar units. And what my plan is for this session is to modulate the bets. Okay, so I'm going to modulate the bets. And I figure in 15 minutes, we should be able to get maybe 18, 19 spins. So even if I were to leave it at $1 average and we were to average $1 a spin, which we won't, because if we lose, we have to do 2 spins to make up. If we lose twice, we have to do 3 spins to make up. But if we were to do anywhere, let's say we even get $10 off of this, I mean, that would put us up. That would put us up at $86. And if we came back for a third session and did it again, that would put us up $96 on the day. So really, at this point, I'm not that interested in continuing to push the limits. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. So we'll get back to the quotes on the comments, excuse me, not the quotes, after we get this bet going and answer those. Okay, so next comment comes from Chicory. What is the first couple of strategies you recommend to start with when you have a small bankroll? That is a really good question, and it's one that we get all the time in Discord. I get DM'd all the time. It's asked all the time because it's really an important question. First thing I would suggest is at the beginning of every one of these videos, I've been putting a link to this challenge, the playlist, basically. So you can go back. I would suggest you go back and watch day 1, day 2, day 3. We had a $100 bankroll. See how we played those. But I will give you the Cliff Notes version, the condensed version, all down into just a sentence or two. Outside bets, 1-to-1. Because with 5 double streets, I got to put down 5 units. And when you have a really tiny bankroll and you can only go so low on your unit sizes, 5 double streets, 9 streets, those take up a lot of things. So outside bets, the 1-to-1 bets, the 2 dozens possibly, because that only takes 2 units. So that's in my mind, that's how I go about it when I have really low bankroll. And you may not want to, I don't really recommend Martingale Plus, which is double plus 1 unit, double plus 1 unit, because obviously at that low, you need to protect every dime you have, right? And so I would just go straight Martingale at that point. Now, again, I don't know what your bankroll is and what you're considering small. If you're saying, hey, I got $500, then that changes the landscape considerably, right? But if you're saying I've got $10, I got $50, I got $100, I would just be very careful and I would play the outside. And I think we did a lot of outside bets. You could venture up if you wanted to, if you're doing okay during session, and put 5 double streets down. That's 50 cents. You could go 9 streets, but that's 90 cents, right? So that's my abbreviated answer right there of how I would play it and how I believe I have played it. And that's why in the very first, especially in the very first episodes of this 100 to 10K challenge, I was trying to show as many different things as I could so you could see how those played out rather than just see one. So that answers that. Let's go on to the next one. What's the next question here? Talking about bricks and mortar casinos versus online, there is another matter. That for me is the negative for brick and mortars. The ambience could lead you to play more than you can afford. The stream of the other winning could provoke the last bet above your budget. Never go into a brick and mortar with anything than the cash you are already ready to lose. 100%. 100% agree with that. So let's talk about that for a second. So what basically he's saying is, hey, brick and mortar is tough because you go there, you got people around you. There's, you could get emotionally, people could be jacking you up. Come on, do it, or whatever that is, or you're just having a good time and you don't want to look like you're playing it safe because of some sort of pressure. So absolutely, I agree with that. That becomes an additional hurdle. But what he said at the end there, I wholeheartedly 1,000,000% agree with. And that is that when you go into a casino, I only take a couple things. I take my driver's license, I take my player's card, and I have cash. That's it. Now, when I go to like Vegas and stuff, I have my credit card because I might want to go grab food or something. But I have that kind of discipline where I have never. Now I take that back. One time in my life have I gone to an ATM machine at the casino, and it wasn't because I got wiped out and I need more money. It's because I forgot my money in the first place. So I didn't have any money. Oh, nothing sweeter than a repeater there. But I totally agree. I see people all the time in the casino. And I a long time ago, I told you guys a story about this really nice old lady that was sitting next to me. I was playing slots. Oftentimes when I have some leftover money, I'll just go play slots. And I'm at my favorite slot at this A casino, and I'm playing, and she's over here, and she hits this jackpot. Now, jackpot meaning it was like $1,000. That's a jackpot to me. The expression on her face, unchanged. And I look at her, and she was nice enough, but I just had to say something. Well, look at this, 13, 13, 17. I'm likey. Okay, so I'm just having fun, and I'm a chatty person. So I look over and I go, hey, you know what? If I won that, I'd be jumping up and down, and I'd be taking selfies, and I'd be yelling. And she kind of smiled, and then she just continued to press the button, right? And they were big. I think they were $10 spins or something. She's just pressing that button. Excuse me. She's just pushing that button, and I'm kind of side-eyeing the screen there. I don't want to be super rude, right? But I'm kind of side-eyeing her balance, and it's just going down, down, down. She gets pretty low, and she hits into another bonus buy. Not a bonus buy, but she hits into another bonus round. Now, this time she wins like $700. So her balance goes back up to 700, unfazed. Click, click, click. Balance goes all the way down. So she's sitting there, and she leans over to me. Talk about trust. Maybe it's just his face. And she says, would you be good enough? I'm going to leave my purse here and my chair, my player's card in there, and I'm going to go to the ATM. And my first thought is, take your damn purse with you. Why would you leave your purse here with someone you just met and who sort of was, Anyway, I said, absolutely, I'll watch all your stuff. So why she didn't take her purse with me, it just baffled me. Anyway, she leaves. She comes back later, feeds in a couple $1,000 and rinses it. She's sitting there when she's getting pretty close to done. She's sitting there, and her husband comes over, and this old guy comes over, and no, hey honey, how you doing? Or none of that kind of stuff. Is just like, I need more money. And she's like, I don't remember what she said, but she basically, I guess she controlled the books, but she either gave him money or gave him the debit card or something and said, go get more money. So she wipes out her second bankroll in the slot machine, and she's like, oh, well, I guess it's just not my night. So she leaves. I leave. I go back to the roulette tables, and I'm walking back towards the bathrooms, which is on the other side there. Anyway. Yes. And what do? Where do I see her? I see her again. And where do I see her? The ATM machine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I totally agree with you on that. But if you do go to the casino, if you feel like you don't have the discipline and the temptation might get to you, definitely. In fact, I have a gambling wallet. It's just for the casino. And I leave my player card in it, and I leave cash in it. And it's one of those really nice thin wallets, because I really don't even like carrying around big wallets, but that's all I got. So if I lose it for some reason, I'm not too stressed about it because I don't have to go back and get all this stuff from the banks and stuff and reissue my all that stuff. I'll lose my driver's license, I'll lose my player card, and I'll lose cash. Okay. Which, by the way, restored the faith in humanity for me for 1 second, especially in a casino. I'm playing in a casino. My wallet falls out of my pocket. And do I even have my wallet here? I'll try to show it to you guys on the next session. Anyway, I had a lot of cash. And so the cash, it's one of these really thin wallets. And the cash, it's sticking way out. You'll see what I mean when I show you this wallet. And it drops down on the floor of the casino. Somehow when I got up from a slot machine, it fell on the floor. It wasn't until a little bit later, maybe 30 minutes later, I realize it and I'm just sick. And I run over to that slot machine, nowhere to be found. And I'm thinking to myself, let's be honest here. Casinos, the reality is they're filled with a lot of less than savory characters. So I'm like, this is gone. This is gone. And it had like $2,200 in there. So I go up to player services and say, could you get a hold of security for me? And told them what happened. She goes, no problem. So she calls the security and really quickly, which surprised me. She's like, okay, security, they're at the back of the casino, blah, blah, blah. Go back. They'll talk to you. So I go back there and they're like, well, first of all, I need you to describe your wallet. So they were really diligent about that, at least, not just like, oh yeah, here you go. So I described the wallet to a T. So they go in and they look at it and they're like, okay, this is yours. They hand me my wallet back, all with cash, everything. They said someone found it and turned it into player services. That person could have picked my wallet, taken all the money out of it, and just thrown it back on the floor or, put it in their pocket and then just left. So that did restore my faith in humanity a little bit, going, there's a lot of, look at our community full of good people and you guys go into casinos. So you guys probably a little on the unsavory side. We all are. Okay, so good comment. I like that one. I like that one a lot. That was a good one. Moving on. Tamron, my gosh, Brent, that crap session was wild. Good roll. It's given me craving to play craps again. I love craps. And so because of that, Tamron, I think in the third session, we'll wander over and accidentally get lost over where the craps tables are and maybe play a couple rounds of craps in the next session after this one. How's that sound? But yeah. Let's go do that. And I think that's the last comment I had for this session. Yep, that's it. So Tamron's fairly new member, but she didn't just stay on the YouTube comment sections. She's become a member of our Discord. She's super active in our Discord, and it's awesome. Everybody's enjoying her in there, and I think she's having a pretty good time. It's a really good community. So don't be afraid to test the waters out and come on in. It's an easygoing bunch. And as long as you're not an asshole or just like a negative Nancy, we've had some of those and people have been pretty quick to be like, listen, dude, if you don't like gambling, we don't need you coming in here telling us that gambling, you can never win. And it's like, come on, man. There's one thing to issue maybe a warning to some people that if you're going to go to a school and talk to kids, you might want to say, be careful. Gambling's very addictive. Don't do drugs. Don't come into a community that's 100% primarily about gambling and then begin to preach. All right. That's our first loss in a while. Wowzers. All right. And we're going to do this and I'm going to, we'll go ahead and double. We'll do a 4X here. And then when I'm done with this, when we get this one, this is how much? This is $4.94. Let's get to $95 or more, and we'll call it quits for the session. I'm going to take a break, go chat with my mom some more, come back. We'll do one last session. I didn't really modulate here because we were doing so well, and I just really, my brain is, I like where we're at. I like this profit. I don't want to be stupid just to be completely stupid. At the beginning, I'm willing to risk because I'd like to build it up, but now, oh my gosh. Punches in bunches. I'm telling you what. And we got this new dealer. She's bad news. I'm just kidding. All right, what is this? $10 units. All right. We're going to go $10 units here. And let's see if we can get, I would love just to get 2 hits here. Unless she's going to ping pong friggin' back and forth on the 2 double streets within the second dozen. I mean, if she does, I'll be so, Come on now. Help us out so we can get out of here, take a break, and then go play some craps. Maybe if I accidentally stumble into that aisle. Oh, good. All right, there we go. Okay, 31. So we're going to go 3 units here. You know what? We're going to go 25s. And 1 unit there and 1 unit there. We're going to go 125 bet. 125 bet. All right, come on now. What was the last one? What did we do last time? We went from 70 to 80. Oh, we did $10. We did, in my head, the only reason I went this way is in my head, I thought we did a $20 unit bet, but we did $10. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone this heavy. Oh, but it paid off. It paid off. We're at 105 today. Stupid mistakes. See, mistakes will cost you. Pay attention more than I am. I'm telling you guys a story and I'm not really focusing 100%. So that would have been totally on me. All right, that's it. I'm going to go take a quick break, stretch my legs a little bit, go talk to my mom, and we'll come back for the 3rd and final session. Cheers. Okay, fools, we are back, and I'm not going to have enough time to place, but you can see the field here. Remember, the field covers these numbers right here, right? So it's covering 2, 3, 4, 9, 11, 12. 2 and 12 are double payouts. Okay, so that's a 10. So we just made 50 cents. This is a 1-to-1 bet, and it's only a one-time bet. Unlike up here, remember, if you place a normal bet up here, and I'm just going to use real basic terms. If you place a normal bet up here, you only lose those if it hits a 7. It can keep staying up there. Oops. All right, soybean. You can keep staying up there as long as it doesn't hit a 7. This bet right here, the moment it doesn't hit one of these numbers, you lose that bet. It's a one-time bet. Okay, so there we go. So I lost that, you see? So if I play this, you can martingale the field, and I do. And when I went to Vegas a couple times ago, I was there, Brad was there, and Kirk with Cruising and Craps was there, and we went to the Palms. Brad said, let's go to the Palms. Best idea Brad's ever had. I think it's the second good idea he's had, and the first one was before he met me, and I'm just taking his word that it's there. There's a 7, so we lost. All right, so I'm going to play 2 things at once. We're going to put 1 unit there, and of course, I'm going to place 2 units there. I'm going to keep martingale in the field, but we're going to place with the 7 wiped everybody out, so it's a new shooter. It's a new game. So you can only put unit on the pass line at the beginning of a new game before it's what's called the point is established, okay? And so it's an 8. So our point goes to 8. You'll see this little puck go to the 8, and I lost on the field again. And I got 1 unit here, and now I'm going to put 4 units here. And I'm going to put $4 here because I'm playing this separately. So what do we have here? The pass line bet on the opening toss wins on a 7 or 11. It loses on a 2, 3, and 12, but that's just on the opening toss. There's a 10, so we finally got this one out. And this don't come bet goes out here. DC bet goes out there. Now I'm going to place 1. I'm going to explain what these are. The DC bet means whatever number the shooter rolls, your bet's going to go on that number. But it's the opposite of playing these normal. It's if it hits a 10, we lose that bet. If it hits a 7, we win. And the point here wins only when it hits the number with the point that the point was established on. So we just won it. It's a new game. Oh, shoot. I didn't take off my $2 bet here. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't remove this bet. So we're going to wait for the point to get established now, and we'll win on a 7 and 11. We'll lose on 2, 3, 9. So that sucks. Our point goes to here, but it hit the 10. So we lost our DC bet. At least we won this bet. So now we're going to put 4 units back on the DC bet, the don't come bet. And so we got our unit on the point. The point is 10. So if the dice rolls a 10, we win this bet and the game starts over again insofar as establishing the point. Remember, the point just means whatever number this goes on. Now, this DC bet, this is great. We won it on a 4 or 10 because these are the least likely to win. So this one here, this $2 bet there, that only wins if it hits a 7. So the rest of our bets lose if it hits a 7. This one wins if it hits a 7. So it's like this hedge. Now we're putting, this is a don't come bet. This is a come bet, which means the exact opposite of this one. It's just like the point pass line. And that's, we got our point here. It hit the point, right? So we win a unit here. Now what happens is the game resets as far as the point goes. So this again wins on 7 and 11 and loses 2 and 3 and 12. These up here only lose on a 7. But every time we hit these numbers now, we win this one. If we hit the 4, we lose this $2. If we hit a 7, we lose these, but we win this one. So this is playing the dark side, the opposite. Now what we're going to do is, now that we have the pass line bet set, we have our DC bet set. Now we're just going to add a bet to the come bet every single time until the game is, until a 7 hits. Okay. All right. So come on. All right, there's a 5. So this bet is going to go to the 5. And it means that these bets here will win every time those numbers are hit. All right. So we're just going to keep loading up the come bet. Now, the come bet is just like the pass line bet, as if it were the opening, the shooter was doing the opening toss every time. This wins on 7 and 11. It loses on 2, 3, and 12. Okay. So that's a 9. So we won the point, and this come bet becomes a point bet. It goes to that number there, and the game is wiped and starts again. Doesn't change what's up here. These stay up there, but you can pull this bet. Can you pull this bet? Yeah, you can pull that bet, but you can't pull these. They're contracts. Contract bet means once you place it, you can't remove it until it's either gone or you hit a 7. All right, there's a 5. So we won our 5 come bet. That's gone now. So we just made money on the come bet, and our point is now set to 5. We already have our DC bet still there. So we immediately go to the come bet. Okay. So we are going to stay there. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Come on. Come on, connection. I don't know what's going on with Pride today. I'm not having this issue with the other restaurants that I've been playing at. Come on. Oh, man, that's so frustrating when that happens. I don't even know what it hit with there. 11. Hit 11. So we won on our come bet. We don't place the come bet because it wins on 7 and 11, which means we just won 50 cents. I'm going to replace the come bet because it doesn't go out to a number here. There's no number up here. There's a 2. All right, we lose this one. We lose on 2, 3, and 12. We win on 7, 11. So we just broke even. If we were playing the field, we would have gotten double payout on that. So now we're actually, we won one just now, and we just now lost one because it rolled 11 and then it rolled a 2. So 7, 11 wins here. 2, 3, and 12 lose right there. Okay. So we're going to see whatever number. We're hoping it hits one of these numbers right here, because then this would replace this bet. Oh, again. So he hit a 2 last time. Remember, this loses on 2, 3, and 12. This bet right here loses on 2, 3, and 12. And and we're just flat betting. It hit a 12 now. So we just lost this bet again. Let's put our graph down here to craps and see how we're doing overall. So we're at even Steven. I mean, if I'm going to go play, I play what I showed you guys the first time. I play Iron Cross. You win on every single spin, but if it hits a 7, you're toast. All right, there's a 5. So our comeback goes to 5, but look, our point is on 5. So we win the 50 cents we put down here, and we start a new game. New game meaning the point comes off. This will win on 7 and 11. We're not placing a come bet. We're placing this, but this and the come bet are essentially the same thing. This and the come bet are essentially the same thing, but this one will have its own point set at whatever the number is. Okay, there's an 8. That's good. So our point goes to 8, and we win our come bet that was on 8. So 8 will be cleared now because we had 50 cents up there. We won, and it brings it down. Now we're going to add another come bet. Okay, so what's happening here is with this bet right here, as long as we don't lose this, at least we have a hedge that this is going to win here and this is going to win here if we hit a 7. Okay, so if you get further enough, if you're lucky to get those, so there's a 7. We win on this one, we win this one, we lose on those ones. So overall, it came okay. All right, so that one's a little bit more complicated to understand. I get it. We're going to go back to Iron Cross. Very simple. 1 unit here, 2 units on each of these three numbers. We win on every spin except 7. And we're going to win $5 on these and a little bit more because these pay a little bit higher odds on them. 2, that's a double hit here. We just won $10. We just won $10. All right, where are we at? What are we at overall? Let's go see, where are we at overall? We are at 116.50 today. 116.50. Woo. This has been a good day. Look at that graph. Look at that graph. That looks like my muscle growth. No, it doesn't. We just won another double bet down here. We just won another $10. Okay, I'm not going to push my luck. I'm going to pull these down. There's no clear button. And you can't hold down the undo button. Doesn't work. And we're going to go $1 and $2. So we're going to lower our bet down to 7 because if I don't want to get wiped out. This is a big bet. Remember we talked about it. It's a 7-to-1 ratio. So there we go. We made a little bit more. We made a $1.33 profit on this because we lose the field bet. Remember, we lose this bet. So if any of these 3 numbers hit, we lose this bet, which is why I put 2 units up here. So at least we're profiting. If I were to put 1 unit up here, I would win the $1 and some change, and I would lose this $1. I would come out with very, very little profit. All right, there's a 5. A 5's a good hit. This pays us nicely. Look at that. That pays us a $1.80 right there. Profit. After we deduct this, we make a $1.80 profit on that one. Me likey. All right, let's get one more. That would put us over 130, and then we'll wrap up back at a little roulette. Maybe we'll go speed roulette. Maybe we'll go French roulette, and I'll just do a couple bigger bets, and we'll call it a day. All right, we win on the field there. Remember, we're winning on every single number except, you got it, 7. So that's what I like it. And often what I'll do is if I play this in the casino, normally what I'll do is I will go in with a very big bet, try to get 1 or 2 hits, pull my money off. Hopefully I have enough that it'll make the table minimums and I can cash in and get lower chips. That's what we want, a 5, another 5. That pays well. That pays a $1.80. All right, we're going to pull everything off of here. And we're going to go head over to a, now remember, if you decide to leave this table, I've done it. I know several of us done it. It'll leave your bets on here. So make sure you manually pull them off. If you did any kind of come bet or pass line bet, you have to wait till it hits a 7. Okay. Otherwise they stay up there because those are contract bets. You can't pull them off. All right. Let's head over to the roulette and wrap this thing up. We only got a few more minutes. All right. Cheers. Okay. Here we are. We're at $132.43. Took me, I don't know, a little bit. So we really have, let's just say it's around 12-minute mark where we're at. 10. I'm going to go 5s. And I'm giving myself only to the $100 profit mark. So I have right now, I have $32.43 that I'm willing to risk. So if I lose this one, I will only have $7.43 left above 100. So I'm not going to go below $100 profit. I'm not going to jeopardize all this. I'm willing to risk $32 and see what kind of, just in a couple spins. We only got a couple minutes left anyway. If I can get a couple spins, if I can pile onto that and grab an extra $15 or something. All right, there's one. Whew, thought that was going to hit the 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. All right, let's see if we can grab, let's see if we can grab a couple wins. That'd be great to get 15 or 20 bucks piled on top of that. I mean, at this point, I don't think we're caught up fully. We might be. We might actually have finally rebounded from that $175 loss. Let's take a look. 175. So it's 40. That's 100. Oh yeah. We'll have surpassed that 175 and gone up into profit. No. She couldn't even give us a couple wins. All right. I'm going to go $10. We have $12.43 left to play with. I'm going to go 2 dozens. I'm going to do follow the winners. We're going to go first dozen and second dozen, $5 each. And we lose this one, we call it a day, because we'll have $2.43, and that's fine. I'm not looking to spend every dime, but let's see if we can make a run, because I might go all in on an outside 1-to-1 bet and see if I can get that money back. Yes. All right. I like you. You know what? We're going to rebet that now. We're going to rebet that one now. Let's go. So 117. We've got $10 in there. So at least we lose here. We walk away with $107.43. What a banger day here today. And I mean, I think we went down only to the third progression. We always won the third progression, but we went 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Looks like we went to the fourth progression, the third progression, which was our final progression. So while this didn't go deep and it looks terrible, this is actually very risky. Yes, look at that. Look at that. You know what? I'm ending on a good note. 122.43. You know what? I take that back. We're going to bet $1. If I can get to 125, I'll place one last $5 bet. And we'll call it good. See, and this is okay if you want to do something like this. Sure, it's great to have that $22 profit, no doubt about it. So if you want to just cash it in and not risk it, perfect. But we got $100. I'm satisfied with that. I would love to just play around, and this could be your controlled degen, right? Oh man, we lost it. So we're not going to do it. We're going to walk away with $120.43. Good job. I hope you guys are crushing it out there. And honestly, I hope some of this is you go, whoa, I see what happened. I see he was almost on the brink of extinction 4 times. I don't want to take that risk. Totally understandable. But that's part of the reason why I want you to see me playing this way, to see just how dangerous it is. You have $250 of playable balance, and you think, what's the big deal on a $5, double street bet of $5 units? Very dangerous. All right, that's it. Be good humans. Us against the casino always. And remember, play with disposable income, play smart, and stay the course, and we'll get there together. All right, cheers.